Welcome back everyone to another episode of Crisis. This is part 4 of the Arrow episode. Um, Two things. First, it is so freaking dark outside. Um, it's windy like hell. I think it's raining too. Oh, is it snow? Shit. Anyways, point is, if you hear noises, I'm right by a window, and it is really bad outside. I do not want to go to work in an hour. What was the second thing? Second thing, I'm in my pajamas because I I just really want to watch this episode. Um, I knew I had to get sleep, but I was like, I need to wake up and watch this before I do anything else. So, last we left off, all our heroes, well, not all our heroes, 7 of our heroes, were transported to the Vanishing Point, which is apparently from Legends. Again, if you watched my first episode of The Crisis, I've only seen Flash and Supergirl. I know general stuff about the other shows, Black Lightning too. I've watched Black Lightning, but apparently it's a Legends callback. Um, but then Superman, Brandon Routh's Superman, Kingdom Come, got replaced by Lex. He wrote himself in with the Book of Destiny, which I don't know how they let him out to get the book, but whatever. I've seen some discussion that, and I pointed out last episode that I think this is Lex's purpose. He's supposed to be here because the Monitor was saying, everyone has a purpose, and he freed Lex. He resurrected Lex rather, for a purpose, and it seemed kind of weak that it was just to find the Superman. I think it's important that he's actually here with the group. Um, so we'll see where it happens. Again, very windy. I apologize. Let's just get into this episode. What? I just realized I did this whole episode without the picture-in-picture. Well, hopefully I can edit the video in. I'll work on that.
I've unlocked your potential. Touching my head. Use this power with caution.
He didn't do anything. Ollie, please.
Hello?
What the hell is this? Asking myself the same question. Literally. No, this can't be happening. You should.
That's right.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'll tell you that when you
I was expecting this in part 5. I didn't realize it's gonna be part 4.
Is this cosplay? Oh, do you want a selfie, bro?
No,
I'm sorry.
We're not. No. I'm also the Flash.
You also the what?
And you mentioned Victor Stone. When does that take place? It has to be after Justice League. This is really shot professionally. Like, not that the CW is unprofessional, but this just looks like, I don't know, like a completely different show.
The dictionary definition of unspecial.
Oh, fuck, it's
I
snowing.
really don't feel like I'm
Shit.
a paragon of anything, let alone
Sorry,
humanity.
in real life.
Hey, wait,
I don't want to go to
are
work.
you sure you...
What's Ryan Choi gonna do? What the hell? He's got a knife!
Die, you creepy shadow thing!
That's me.
Oliver!
Anyone's gonna take over the universe? It's gonna be me!
It's just so cheesy. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of filling for time in this episode because not a lot has happened, and now we're doing slow-mo of all things. Yeah. You can't die again. You're a ghost. So, I think that sums up the how how this episode was. Okay, so I liked the Speed Force stuff. I think that was really interesting. It was an interesting premise to have Barry have to go to all these places and pull them out. I feel like it was kind of done back in the Dominator crossover. in the Arrow episode as well, where they were all kind of living this dream fantasy, the shared fantasy dream thing, and they all had to leave, and it was kind of like a good memory flashback kind of thing too. Um, but the thing I liked about this one is it was just shot so well. Like, I know Arrow has always kind of been more gritty and real, it feels like at times. Especially since I watch Flash and Supergirl, those ones are a lot more fantastical with the powers and aliens and all that stuff. So the CG kind of takes you out sometimes. But I felt like this episode, even with like the anti-monitor and all the ghost things or whatever, and the special powers and all that stuff, it felt very grounded still. And just the way it was shot, it felt very, I don't know, just gritty, earthy kind of. And it felt like the only thing that really took me out was the fact that the CW logo was there. Like other than that, it felt like a movie basically. Um, so I got to give props there for the production team for that. Um, so I guess we've kickstarted a new universe, and I'm assuming that's what the next episode is. I think it's the Legends episode. I've seen that it was labeled like episode 0 of the season, so I guess it's a kind of reboot for the Arrowverse. It's going to get us reconnected with all the characters, sort of set up the plots going forward again, show us maybe the differences of what's happened. Obviously, mourning Oliver to some extent. Um, Oliver dying, I'm not sure how I feel about that exactly. Um, like, I don't know. I just assumed the Spectre was like the spirit of vengeance, like he was a literal ghost, like not alive kind of thing. So him dying again kind of just felt weird to me, but maybe I just wasn't understanding his situation. Um, uh, I don't know. And if he is dead, then it's like he had a very important role in the crossover. Don't get me wrong. It just feels like I don't know. I was just missing something with him. But again, it might have been just my connection to Arrow itself. Like I don't have those 7 or so years. I think it came out in 2012. But I don't have that lineage to go off of. I just have hearsay. I have the crossovers. I had that experience with Oliver, but I don't have the full. I've been with him since the island kind of thing. Um, uh, the other thing I really wanted to touch on was the Paragons. I feel like Jean and Sarah were really underused out of them. Um, we got a lot of Kara and Kate in the last episode, and even this episode we got a little bit of that. But we got we sort of understood how they were courage and hope. Um, we got a little bit of tease of what Lex is doing and how he fits into truth. Like it seems very opposite at first when you think about it, but he he's he's always twisted the truth, but I think at the same time he's always wanted like a truth to be out there. He's always fought for humanity above aliens, and so there's a certain truth to that. Um, it's a slim connection, but there's definitely a connection there, and you can kind of see it. Same with Ryan Choi. Like we've been hit over the head this episode about how he's humanity and how he's important to that. Um, and Barry was love. We kind of we don't even need too much explanation on that. But they did do a little bit of that through the last couple episodes. But Jean with honor, never really saw that. Like if you don't know who Jean is, then you really wouldn't understand why he's honor. Um, and even then, I feel like there could have been a better like not truth because that's one of the things, but there would have been a better paragon kind of phrase to use for a different character. I just feel like he was very underutilized. Even like it just kind of felt like they just wanted him on the team rather than making an actual thing that made more sense, I guess. More like if these are the 7 ideals of the new universe, I get why they want honor, but at the same time, I like justice. I don't know. I just feel like there's a better phrase they could have used it for somebody else that would have been a stronger connection they could have done more with. And again, just felt underutilized. Same with Sarah. Destiny is an important thing, but at the same time, she didn't really have much to do. Like she was just kind of there. Maybe the next episode we'll kind of deal with her more because it is the Legends episode. But you know, her being Destiny and just Destiny in general, it just doesn't. It didn't seem too important. Like other than the abstractness of, you know, Destiny is always important in superhero shows and especially with the cosmic universe and you know all that stuff. It makes sense why Destiny would be a paragon. I just don't feel like she was utilized to her fullest potential. I don't know. So we had that, and yeah. I'm just really curious. I've been saying this. I'm really curious to see what kind of universe we're going to be in now. Are we all going to be on the same Earth? Are we still going to have separate Earths? Um, you know, how are we going to deal with doppelgangers? Are we going to have infinite Earths still? Um, you know, does everything get reset to before the antimatter wave? Where in the time stream are we? You know, like there's so many questions that I'm just excited to see what kind of gets fleshed out. Last thing was the Ezra Miller cameo. That did get spoiled for me, but I was still not expecting it this episode. I thought it was gonna be an episode 5 thing, like after the crisis is over, all that stuff. That was also a scene that didn't really make sense to me in this. Like it was an awesome scene. I loved it. Like I loved every second of it. It was just so like I just and the confirmation of Victor Stone. Um, you know, the setting up that I don't know what it's setting up. Like it just it blows my mind. And that was kind of like the first moment of this episode where I was like, this show, like this episode is so cinematic. Just the way it was shot, the grainy effect, like when you're in their Speed Force and it's kind of like misty. Um, but it was just, it was crazy. But yeah, I don't really understand. I think it was just a cameo. I'm just gonna chalk it up to a cameo, but I just don't get what they kind of were making it seem like it was more like Barry was questioning like why am I here? What does this mean? Um, but maybe it was just kind of like a cheeky like what does this mean for the DCEU kind of thing? Like are they connected to the Arrowverse or whatever? But I still loved it. I loved every second of it. Um, and yeah. If the Flash movie is going to be a version of Flashpoint, then maybe it's going to be a version that aligns it with the Arrowverse in that sense. Because Flashpoint does create the New 52, um, and that could be like a sort of tie-in with the Arrowverse and how they're sort of restarting their universe as well. Um, it's interesting. It's either going to be a lot of information in that one scene or it's just a nice little cameo. But either way, I loved it. So yeah, hopefully I can get picture-in-picture working. I completely just recorded this episode without actually putting the video in. But I will do my best. And if it's late, that is the reason why. I was trying to fucking put the episode into the screen. Um, okay, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Um, yeah, you guys have probably seen episode 5 already, so I just can't wait to get into it and see what kinds of stuff we're going to get into in the new Arrowverse. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.